Welcome to the 2016 Georgia College Regional Science and Engineering Fair. As you know, this is a collaborative event between Georgia College, our participating schools, local sponsors, and of course you, our judges. Our region consists of Baldwin, Bibb, Hancock, Jasper, Jones, Monroe, Putnam, Twiggs, Washington, and Wilkinson counties, and currently we have approximately 180 projects registered for this event. This year, we have a few changes in our schedule. Because of the online judges training, you will not have to participate in training the morning of the event once you've completed this online training. Therefore, when you arrive, you will get your project assessments on your clipboard and you may go ahead and begin reviewing the student projects. Students will be on the floor from 10 o'clock. Hopefully, we will conclude our judging around 11:30. Lunch will be served at 12:30. At 2 o'clock, we will have our elementary division award ceremony in the Centennial Center. And then at 4 o'clock, we will have our junior-senior award ceremony again in the Centennial Center. Please feel free to join us. Our project numbering system this year will follow the GSEF system, and so this will consist of a letter, a category, and the exhibitor number. The letter designations are P for primary, E for elementary, J for junior, and S for senior, followed by the ISEF categories such as 1 for animal sciences, 7 for chemistry, 13 for engineering, mechanics, etc. And then finally we'll have our sequential exhibitor numbers 01, 02, 03, etc. On the floors, the projects will be grouped based on their category numbers, not on their grade levels. Again, we will give you badges to wear so that students recognize you as a judge. Your assignments will be on clipboards. We will give you instructions on how to complete your scoring. You may enter your scores either online or give your volunteers your clipboard. All the score sheets will be placed in bins, and then we're going to have a ranking sheet again for you to rank your projects. We ask that you recycle your badges and replace our clipboards so we can use them again next year. And we'll have a sign-in, sign-out sheet, and that's in case we need additional judges for some final projects. Our motto has always been pick the best, encourage the rest. We will hopefully have some floor maps available to help you locate your projects. The juniors and seniors will be on one side. The elementary will be on another side. Remember that this year our projects will be grouped based on category and not grade level. The other locations for our Fair Central, engineering design, exhibitor meeting, and Fair Central will be in the same locations as last year. As you're looking at the fair products, you should be looking for an abstract, the display board, the lab data notebook. Most of the senior level projects will also have a research paper. The original forms are checked off by our IRB SRC committee. You are not responsible for making sure that those are provided. And then our safety judges will make sure that the photo credits are on the board. This year, though, we are going to ask that you print your name on the project card at the base of the project once you have completed the student interviews. And this will help us see where we are in the judging process. Most of the projects are going to involve the scientific process. This is the typical where you identify a project problem, find a purpose, construct a hypothesis, identify your dependent, independent variables, test your hypothesis, and analyze your results and draw a conclusion. Whereas there will be a few projects that involve the engineering process. These are a little bit different. Students will find a goal, develop a design, build and test a prototype, but again, they will analyze and draw a conclusion. Elementary school students may or may not actually conduct background research depending upon their age and their skill set. Again, our judging categories are the same as last year. The most heavily weighted item is the presentation and interview, and that's worth 25. Some of the things that you should be looking for in science is, do the students understand the basic principles? Do they understand inductive versus deductive reasoning? You may ask them why they carried out a particular project or what information they gained by doing the project. For engineering, you should be looking for creativity, application of the design. Do the students have a good understanding of fundamental principles in terms of engineering and mathematics? And then again, what are the future applications of their engineering design? Our engineering score sheet is the same as last year. The categories are broken down for you. Please make sure you total your columns on the bottom and then give us your final total in the big box. Our science score sheet again is the same as last year. We've got the categories broken down into fair, average, good, and excellent ranges. The lowest score you can give would be a 53. The highest would be 100. We suggest that you start in the average range and then you can go up or down as necessary. The most important part for the students is to receive the comment sheets. The students never receive their numerical scores. So in order for them to grow and to improve upon their oral or scientific research skills, they have to rely on your comments. So please be positive and take a moment to complete this form. The display layout will look something like this. This is a typical one. You are not responsible for ensuring that the project meets the standard guidelines. Our safety judges will do that. This is just provided so you have a general idea of what you should be looking at. Next, we have a mini evaluation. This includes 2 sample display boards for you to evaluate. One of them is a good example, and one of them is a bad example. You can ask yourself, which one would you give a better score? The purpose of this is to help you realize that sometimes flashy colors and fancy display boards do not necessarily include good science. This is our first board, and if you take a look at it at first glance, it looks very presentable. Then when you begin to analyze the data, you realize that it's got some serious problems. This is our second one. It doesn't look as presentable as the first one, but when you begin to analyze it, you see that it has a little bit more meat. It's got some specific data. It has some growth percentages. It has a properly labeled graph, and certainly the citations are in proper format. Our exhibitors, most of the students here were selected as first or second place finishers at a local, county, or district fair. For many of these students, this is the biggest project that they've ever done, and for many of them, this is their first academic competition. Please, and they are going to be nervous. Try to engage them in some conversation prior to asking them questions. Help them relax, and they'll answer the questions better. For team projects, it's important to make sure that you direct all your questions to both team members. Some other tips, only compare projects that you've seen at this fair. Don't compare projects with things that you may have seen in previous years or at other fairs. Remember that the display board is secondary to the actual science knowledge that the student has gained. If you feel that there's a potential conflict of interest, please let us know and we will reassign your projects. We are going again to ask you to print your name on the interview card at the base of the project display when you've completed the interview, and then we're going to give you a ranking sheet. And even though you may be looking at projects across different categories, we're going to ask you to rank what you consider was the best and the second best. And this helps us. This is a cross check with our final scores. We have a cheat sheet for you that's going to give you a couple of hints of what you need to be looking for. We also have some suggestions in terms of some things to look for and some questions to ask. We'll be giving these to you. In conclusion, we're going to ask that you put your score sheets in the properly marked bins. We thank you for your assistance. If you have any questions, find one of the facilitators wearing a purple ribbon. The professional judges will receive certificates and coffee coupons. Again, lunch will be served at about 12:30. If you have any questions regarding the judging on the actual floor, you can find Miss Lamp or Miss McGill or any of these other fair event coordinators wearing purple ribbons. Again, please enjoy the projects and the exhibitors. We thank you so much for your willingness to serve in this wonderful process, and we hope that you will come back next year.